What's up, YouTube? Happy Mother's Day. I'm filming this on Mother's Day, but it won't be out for a few weeks, probably at the very least. So today, I gotta make sure I call my mom. Obviously, it's Mother's Day. And then on the agenda, we are going to set up this QuickJack system. So we got the 5 boxes delivered. Even though it says 1 of 3 here, we got little platforms and this big box. I don't know what these 2 things are yet, so I'm going to find the instructions and get started on this. There are plenty of YouTube videos out there explaining how to set this QuickJack system up, but this is what I'm going to go through, so hopefully you find it useful. I thought it would be useful to go through this. There's some lift tips, safety tips. I obviously don't need to look this over right now. Warnings about raising the QuickJack frames without the vehicle on it. Some explanations on the quick connects and coupling best practices, which when I get to this point, I'll reference this. Comes with a guide on vehicle lifting points. So you can see here for a Dodge Nitro where the lifting points are. This is kind of interesting. I'm actually curious if my Supra is in here or my 67 Camaro, but I'll look at that later. Another guide here, safety manual. Explaining concepts of lifting, so that will be useful to go through. And another safety guide, less exciting, doesn't have any pictures. But I don't see any instructions yet, so I guess we'll need to dig into these boxes. Oh, I missed one more thing. Let's see. Alright, that's interesting. Alright, we gotta find the instructions. Alright, that's cool. It's some kind of QuickJack hook for the system. And put you down for a second. Get this out of the bag. Looks kind of cool, to be honest. Alright, some kind of hook for the hoses or whatever, the QuickJack on here. It's pretty cool, honestly. Not the instructions, but we'll open these little boxes first. Alright, this is pretty cool attention to detail, to be honest. First box I've opened. Got some screws here. That is the QuickJack hooks for wall mount storage. There's a part number there if you need it, but yeah, these look pretty good. Alright, the next box is dimpled pinch weld blocks. So it's probably to use with the lifting points. I already cut it because I'm using this razor blade and I didn't want to slice my hand open on camera. So yeah, these are just the lifting blocks, 4 of them. Cool. All right, I'm hoping the instructions are in here. Rubber pads, hoses, parts bag, sealant, coupler, and do not return sheet. More blocks. Look like big Legos. All right, let me get this thing out with 2 hands. All right, just pulled that whole thing out. We got a couple boxes left in here. More lifting points in this little box. I'll leave these in here. Couplers, thread lock, thread sealant. Okay. See if I can get this set up maybe on this box, and then I can film getting it squared away here. Good enough. It's pretty beefy. Alright, still no instructions, but this, I like this. I like the look of it. Yeah, I guess I should mention I got the 5000 TL. Yeah, this is the 5000 TL. So 5,000 pound capacity. If I cut myself, I'll just edit it out. This is box 2. My guess is instructions are in box 1. Since I'm doing everything backwards. Yay. Ooh, pretty cool. All right, let me get this out of this box. Okay, I went ahead and took the box off of this, the first of 3 boxes, or first of 5. And I was just noticing this yellowness here. It doesn't feel wet or anything, just a little weird discoloration. Okay, the last place I looked, the setup manual, but it makes sense that it was in the first box. But it's cool, we got everything out, ready to tackle it. Alright, so there are wheels on this end. So as I'm arranging everything, you can just lift this side, If I can get my hand under there, hang on. And just roll it around. Easy peasy. So we got the platforms, lifting points, couplers, hoses. I think we're good to go. Let me just read the directions and get started here. Okay, I moved the wall mounts, the rubber stands and everything else out of the way, and I tried to make this look like this picture. So I had the platforms backwards. The wheels are supposed to be on this side. You have the lock bar on the outside. So lock bar over on the other one is on the outside. This one's here. And then the QuickJack stickers on this end. So really all we have to do is hook up elbow connectors to this hydraulic cylinder, hook up the quick connect, which I'll have to figure out which end, but this short hydraulic hose goes under the frame. Something like that. And then that short one gets connected to the long hose, which then gets connected to the power unit. Wasn't sure what to call this thing earlier. I wanted to call it a compressor, but in the instruction manual it's called the power unit. So these long hoses will get connected to this. Then we just fill this thing with hydraulic fluid or ATF. I have ATF. And once that's done, we got to put 50 psi in the air cylinder here. I don't have an air compressor except for ones I use for my car, so I'll just pull a car in. Hopefully that will work and attach to here. We'll see. And then it's just a matter of bleeding the system, and then it should be good to go. So it's pretty simple setup. Okay, so I grabbed number 6 out of my set. I'm just supposed to remove this. There's some fluid coming out. And then grab one of these elbows with no thread lock. The instructions said no thread lock. You know, I admire the YouTubers who can do stuff one-handed. There, got it started. Now this is supposed to be torqued to 11 to 12 pounds, so I'll have to get out other tools, but that will do for now. And I'll do that on the other side. Alright, I realize I'm kind of a dummy. I have a stand for this GoPro, so I don't have to do things one-handed. There you go. Nice, and it's steadier than I can hold it. Alright, these aren't on there terribly tight. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Yeah, I wonder if you want these, you know, eventually facing this way, so that when you put the hose on, you kind of want it facing the power unit, which is that way. So that's maybe something I'll play around with. I'll have to look whether this gets thread seal or not, but that's the idea. Alright, so I grabbed the and 11/16 wrench. Tighten this down. I'm not exactly sure how to get 11 foot-pounds out of this. Maybe I'm missing a tool. And then I did read in instructions that this elbow does not get thread sealer on either side. So I just went ahead. This is also 11/16. So I just tighten that up and that's good to go. This has to run under the frame, but not important right now. QuickJack. All right, so this first one I did, I realized this elbow connector needs to be pointed the other direction. Not a big deal because this nut rotates independently to lock down the position. So we can just face it backwards. Use the 11/16 to tighten it up to approximately 11-12 foot-pounds. Probably good. And then grab our hose. Does this screw out? Yes, it does. And then I'll run these under just so we get a look what it will look like when it's done. And we'll just torque it down a little bit. Probably good. All right, so then that goes under the frame, and then we'll connect those long hoses to the short hoses using our quick connects and with the thread sealant. Okay, before I apply the thread sealant and hook the short cable up to the long one, I just wanted to screw around with these quick connects, reading the instructions. I really had a hard time getting this on the first time, but let's see if I can do it. So you just push the male end to the female end, and then it locks. Right now I can't seem to turn this to get it into a locked position, but you just pull down on this bit and it ejects the male end. So I wanted to just play around with this a little bit before I applied it permanently. It's pretty hard to get on. It would be better if this part would turn and give it more of a lock, but I can't seem to get it past the ball. But at least I understand how that works. All right, these are 7/8. Just put thread lock on it just to get these short hoses buttoned up. Torque down to, I think, 11 pounds. Yellow. There we go. A little much. Alright, that's it for the short hoses. Then I'm going to do both ends on each of these long hoses. I did learn, or I did saw in the instructions that these that I was confused about earlier, they go into the power unit, and since they have an O-ring, they don't get any thread lock. So I think once I get these all thread locked, and I'll show this, I'll probably stop for the day. Just let these kind of settle, seal, and then I can make sure I call my mom before I get in trouble, and then I'll pick up the filling the air cylinders and bleeding these things tomorrow, but I'll do this before I stop today. The stuff's kind of thick. It's like honey or something. Just put it on the first few threads, and then it will work up as you screw these on. Torque them a little bit. That one's done. So I have the space to do this finally because my Supra is in the shop getting the transmission output shaft seal done for the second time. So I've had this QuickJack system in the garage since Christmas. My wife was nice enough to give me this gift, and I haven't been able to hook it up, set it up, because I have the Project Camaro taking up space, and that's nowhere near running, and I had the Supra apart. But since I've got it out at the shop getting the transmission fixed before Ocean City, I have the space to finally set this up. Now this is Sunday, and we're leaving for Ocean City Friday. So let's hope it gets done in time. Okay, so we can hook these up to the power unit whenever. It doesn't require sealant. Long hoses got sealant, short hoses thread seal on this end, all hooked up over there. We're good to go, good to take a break. I'll just pick this up again tomorrow, and there'll be no pause on your end, but I'm going to take a break. So see you tomorrow. All right, we're back at it with this QuickJacks. I know in the video it's going to seem like nothing's happened, but I think a couple weeks have gone by. College and high school graduations, including the trip out to Ocean City. So I'm getting back finally to this QuickJack setup. Everything is where I left it. Next steps were to fill the air cylinder, fill up the power unit with ATF and bleed the system, and we'll get to it. I'm just gonna roll the QuickJacks towards the Supra, which I just picked up, and it's missing a bumper. Lots to do to get this thing buttoned up for the year, but I'm just gonna roll these closer to the Supra, plug this air compressor into the cigarette lighter, and just get these things up to just below 50 psi. roll them back over here, connect them to the power unit, fill that thing with ATF, and then go through the bleed procedure, and we'll be done. Taking this off to get access. Now, I already filled the other one up, but what I noticed is the PSI goes up relatively fast. It's not a big container, so don't expect to walk away and get a coffee or anything. Alright, now both air compressors have air in them. I'll roll them back. Got some work to do on the power unit and fill it with ATF, hook up all the hoses, try it out. Okay, before we hook up the hoses and go through bleeding, filling with ATF, we need to hook these connectors up to the power unit. These quick connectors, they have an O-ring, so you don't need to put thread sealant on it. The instructions mention starting with the bottom one because you will have better access. It does look like this, maybe through testing, has had some ATF in it already. I hope it's not a return defective unit, but we'll see. It's a 7/8 wrench. All right, now it's time for ATF. All right, I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. All right, you're supposed to fill it to a 1/2 inch of the top. So we got a little more to do. All right, a couple rounds here, and that's filled high enough. So now we'll hook up the hoses and get to bleeding. All right, this is the short hose from the jack, and the long hose, I'll just get these shoved together and rotated. That's actually the first time I've gotten it to turn, so that's good. And for the other one, yeah, this is the one that doesn't want to turn. The last step is just to bleed the system. So we got 2 of these large blocks and a medium block of these rubber Lego pieces. These indents fit in here nicely, so they're relatively stable. And I'm just gonna tilt the QuickJack up, put this under this bracket, and then we'll go through the bleed procedure and we'll be pretty much done. Alright, we got some movement finally. Okay, so now I see the lock position here. So we're just supposed to go up and down. Down's doing nothing. Up does something. Down, nothing. No noises. Let me look into that. Okay, I like to share this whole experience just so you have like a real, this isn't a commercial, I'm not paid by QuickJack, right? These are the experiences you'll have if you buy a QuickJack. So right now I'm just pushing down on the jack while holding the button down, and I'm starting to get some movement. So it didn't take very long, but let me show you that it's moving now. So it was doing nothing before, but I held the button down and just applied pressure here. And I was able to kind of gently force it down, and then I'd raise it back up, and then I'd gently force it down, and now it's kind of stuttering. So I'm going to do this up and down a few more times. Just see, you're supposed to go up and down 3 times before you get to actually bleeding. So going up, stop before the lock. That's good. You can see it stuttering. It's like air in the system. And then I'm holding down, and we're getting a little movement. Okay, things are looking up, down. I'm sure this will get better as the air gets out of the system, but I was nervous the down button was broken. And manual mentioned they'll come down at different speeds. At this point, it is until it's fully bled that you will see them basically be synchronized, which is what you want if you're lifting up a 93 Supra. So one more time. Up's really good. Down not so much, but that will improve. So this is I'm going to call this the 3rd time, and then we'll move on to actually bleeding the hydraulics. Yeah, I'm really excited about this thing. I've got the Supra I can use it on, my son's Lexus IS 300, and then if this thing ever gets past where it's at, I think this will be a good tool for my DIY garage. So let me read up how to bleed it and then film a little bit of that. First step is to just loosen this bleeder screw. A little air came out and then some hydraulic fluid. And I'll tighten it back up. And we'll do this to the other side. Hopefully you can hear that air. Now hydraulic fluid is coming out. Clean that up a little bit. Alright, so now we raise it for 1 to 2 seconds. Yeah, well, what was the next step? Up a couple of seconds, stop, open the bleeder screw a small amount, go up a couple more seconds more, and then more air and hydraulic fluid should come out. So let's do that. I don't know if I should do these one at a time, but whatever. Up a couple more seconds. Tighten it. And then I think we just go down to flat and then do this until no air comes out. All right, did a couple more times. This one didn't have any air hissing out, although there's some air bubbles, whereas this one did. So let me do that again, raise it for 1 or 2 seconds. Loosen the bleeder. So definitely air. This one last time did not have air. Yeah, see, it's just shooting out ATF. So, progress. I tighten this, yeah. Alright, so I'll do it a few more times. I think I'm done. I'm going to do it one more time to show you, and if there are any experts out there who can tell me I'm doing it wrong, I'm open to it. We'll put a fresh shop towel under this one and this one. What was funny is this side ended up having to do it like 20 times, where that one originally I thought was going to be the problem child. But I think I got this one squared, so we'll just lower them down, raise it up. I've done it for more than a couple seconds just so I can get this hex key turned, so there should be no air. Just fluid, no bubbles. Cool. And this one, I heard a little bubble, but mostly fluid. think we're good to go. Went through quite a few shop towels cleaning up this mess. I'll clean up more when I'm done. But basically, that's it. We'll take it off the blocks there. We can disconnect the hoses and move the power unit away. Set up the hangers that I showed earlier. Get these things off the floor, and then I can pull the Supra in, and then I have this ready to roll. That's going to do it for the QuickJack setup. Overall, relatively easy. I think it's something you could get done in a dedicated afternoon. I just split it up into 2 working segments because of life, but no big deal. The bleeding process was a little involved, but nothing too terrible. So I'm excited about having this tool in my DIY garage to use on my Toyota Supra and my son's Lexus IS 300. So if you'd like to see me use this QuickJack on one of those cars in a follow-up video, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.